The purpose of data is to, that instead of 3,000 plane flights to 3,000 cities, you're flying out to 4 or 5, right? Because until you actually go, I've been flying to Idaho Falls during COVID. So imagine the risk. And because it is a deep red state, some of the people that were there refused to wear masks. So I had to cancel meetings because I don't want to be in a room with 4 people not wearing masks. Even if I was wearing a mask, that would protect them. But so it was very risky. But I would not go and spend millions of dollars of my own money on Idaho Falls until I understood Idaho Falls. So the process is really simple, Vincent. Don't overthink it, right? The metrics that I provide in the real focus system leads you to good cities. Now, every good city has its own circumstance. And so very often, I would say 10% of the time, those metrics are wrong. They don't mean anything. They're misleading you because that's the nature of metrics. So to simply say, well, this city is the best in the US because it comes up the best on Neil Bauer's real focus system is nonsensical because Neil Bauer never does that. What Neil does is he uses his system to rank cities and then go to those cities and see which one matches the needs of his investors at this point of time. And I can tell you, Idaho Falls doesn't match the needs of multifamily investors. It phenomenally, ridiculously matches the needs of single family investors, right? So the answer is the purpose of data is to give you a short list of 5 or 10 places that you can visit. But beyond that, it is the story of the people there that you talk with that really leads you to the next direction. I do 2-day visits to cities, and I've never done one with less than 12 meetings. So you need to challenge yourself to have 12 meetings when you go to a city. That's hard, but my team sets it up for me when we start the work on going to a city 6 weeks in advance. And we have lots of phone calls that help us learn more and refer us to other people. And we use those phone calls and we use those referrals to build our list of people that we're, sitting down with. And my visits to, like, for example, Idaho Falls, I took a 6 a.m. flight. I got to Salt Lake City at 9. I started my drive to Idaho Falls, 3 hours. I got there at noon. I had a noon appointment. And then my appointments continued until 9 p.m., which included dinner. And then the next day, I had appointments that started at 7 at my hotel. And then at about 3 o'clock, I started my drive back to Salt Lake City. And I had a 7:30 flight that took me home back at about 9 or 10. That's how much I compress it. And I had my 12 meetings, right? And because I have virtual assistants, if a meeting cancels, my staff just replace people. So they've got a first, second, third alternate in there. So they just let me know, hey, your 4 o'clock has now been replaced by this person. I think that you have to be that structured. The more structured you are, the higher your result. I'm not saying that you won't get result if you show up without those 12 meetings. You will. Absolutely you will. But I think you'll get a higher result if you structure it. And don't overthink it. Use the metrics, then visit the metro. That instinct of which metro is better only gets developed through physical visits. The data just shortlists everything for you. Exactly. And I keep in mind that, we tend to sometimes overly focus on the cities that we're going to. Understand that buying the properties, finding the cities is just the beginning. Your systems and processes need to benefit your investors for the life of the project. When you're asset managing the building, when you're increasing occupancy, increasing rents, lowering expenses, all of this is good for investor returns. And all of this happens through the use of data science. And the reason we have 500 investors is they trust our discipline, they trust our dedication to applying it to all parts of the life cycle, not just to the purchase. So sometimes there's too much of a fixation on it. And the other thing is that if you have something that you've come up with, then share it. I see so many people listening to podcasts, but I think that you will be a better syndicator, a better investor if you're sharing it. We are sharing incredible amounts of valuable content. It's completely free at multifamilyu.com. We've got stuff that is going to save you days of research, deal analysis, opportunity zones, syndication law, getting a loan on your first multifamily. Dozens of webinars like this, and we don't allow any kind of pitching. And that is something that everyone needs to do because it's a community. It's not just about you taking because podcasts are available. It's about you giving.